Jai Hind and a very good afternoon to our guest for today, Mr. Mandar Thosar, our Dean, Dr. Poonam Nikam, faculty members and all the students of IIEBM. I, Achal Kumari, MC for today, accord you a warm and cordial welcome for today's session. Now, I would like to take this opportunity to introduce Mr. Mandar Thosar. Sir, may I have your permission to proceed? Thank you, sir. Sir Mandar Thosar is a marketing expert with more than 18 years of experience in creating plans for traditional as well as digital marketing and developing brands. He has a postgraduate degree in data science and business analytics from the University of Texas and is also a certified cybercrime investigator. He completed his undergraduate studies at the Government College of Engineering, Amravati, and pursued MBA in Marketing Management from IIEBM Pune. Sir has successfully helped many businesses grow, improved how people view brands, and increased engagement with target audiences. After working for more than 15 years at a leading IT service company in India, Mandar sir started his own consulting firm called 1point01. So 1.01 specializes in marketing for technology companies. In a short span of time, 1.01 has been recognized as a best agency by Small Businesses Awards hosted by Corporate Vision UK. Sir has also received a prestigious title called Let's Talk CX Fast 100 from Oracle India and Let's Talk CX. This title honors the top 100 innovative leaders in marketing, customer experience, sales, and services from growing organizations in India. Now, without any further delay, I would like to invite Mr. Mandar Thosar sir to address the young mind present over here.
Right. If you remember the format of that session, you would know what probably the next slide is. Any guesses? Okay, since we have not much of time. Design thinking for managers. So first try and understand what is design. What is design? I know it's written there, but I want to know your version. Yeah.
Design is an idea or a concept which you are planning or to work upon, and when you implement it in a picturized form or in a printed form, that is called design.
Correct. So the thought that is there in my head, how do I explain that thought to you? So the whatever mean I use, it could be story, it could be drawing, it could be a movie. That is all part of design in a broader sense. Next. Okay. But if you go by the definition of the school, Strate School of Design, which is in Paris, they say, what they say, you read it out.
Design is the process of imagining and planning the creation of objects, systems, buildings, vehicles, etc. It is about creating solutions for people.
Okay. So what's the difference between the definition that we just spoke and the definition that you see on the screen right now? The first definition talked about the representation or the manifestation of the thought or idea. This definition talks about solutions. So if you look clearly, closely, you will see they are talking about creating solutions. For whom? For people. And what do we call that? Creating solutions for people? User-centric design. Okay? Yeah, move. So now we have understood design. What is thinking? I know it's written there, I want your version. Okay, so our thought process that goes in our head is the thinking part, right? Yeah, you're pretty much there. That's the dictionary meaning. Unfortunately, no school has defined thinking as such, so we'll just move to who's a manager. I'm sure you have handled this definition in your some of the classes at least. Odonal Kunj. Somebody spoke about POS decarb in last session. Planning, organizing, staffing, directing, right? But necessarily what a manager does is he or she manages things, right? For, now that's not given here, Why you manage things? Effective utilization of resources. How will we know whether we have utilized resources effectively? Oh, let me go up. Sorry? Somebody said in the right direction, but how do I know whether that direction is the right direction or not? ऐसे ही बोलो यार, मजे करो. हाँ?
When we reach to a particular target.
Amazing. How do you know you have reached the target? For that, you will have to first define the target. Right? You define the target, then you understand where you are, and the difference that's there is delta. Right? And then you keep monitoring that delta. When that delta is 0, you know you have reached the target. Right? That's how our Google map shows us. Correct? This is where you are. This is your destination is. It will take 2 hours 31 minutes. So yeah, that's what managers do. So if I have to put that into a design form, this is what design thinking is all about. What is there on the left hand side? Correct. What is there on the right hand side? And what does this manager fellow does in between? Logo से बात करो, value deliver करो. If you can do that, your job is done as a MBA. Next. Why we need design thinking? When you look at this diagram, is there something that bothers you? What push? या push तो लिखा है, मुझे भी दिख रहा है, but
To push yourself to do something or take an initiative.
you should go into HR. You motivate people like anything. I know. You just displayed that. Okay? Don't you find anything weird in that image? Huh. So why somebody, yeah, pull and push. So handle is required for pulling, not for pushing. Then why somebody has put that handle there? Any thought? If you do not have thought, let me ask you to imagine me, I mean you people imagine me with just one eye, one side of ear, then another side of hand, just one hand. How will I look? Will I look symmetric? So these interior designers, I don't know why, but they have this fascination for symmetry. So उधर से लगाया है, तो इधर से भी लगा देते हैं. This is the rubbish excuse that they have. There could be merit. For example, generally the door is of wood, and I may come with a wet hand, and I don't want to make the door wet, and hence I need handle. Valid answer. But most of the people have this kind of design when they are very sure that there's nobody who will come with wet hands. Right? And there are so many minds out there who does this kind of work. Hence design thinking is very, very important. Very important. Because if you just observe this, and if you could reduce the cost of these 2 handles, and there are 1,000 handles in this building, you are saving how much money? And you are not just saving money. To fix those handles, it needs some manpower, it needs some time. So you are also saving on that. Right? That's why design thinking is important. It saves you so many things. And again, repair, obviously. Next. What is wrong here? Multiple of 2. Why? Isn't there a dollar bill? Or if it is difficult for you to think in dollar world, think of it in rupee world. No clue? Okay, let me ask you this question. How many times you have gone to ATM to withdraw coins? Never? then what you will do with that dot 0, 0? Yeah. So you are unnecessarily wanting your user to enter 2 extra keys, because if I have to withdraw say 1000, I'll have to enter 5 times 0. So pehle 3 0 will make it 1000, and then 2 0 just to cover this decimal. Bad design thinking, right? But unfortunately we have talented people. Next. This is the very common. This is my favorite. What's problem there? Wow, the moment, I mean, if somebody in hurry removes that pill first, you would never know what's the expiry of that tablet. And who designs that and who approves that design? Your future versions, right? Whoso is working in pharma, वो आएगा उनके पास design schedule, अरे बढ़िया है, because I have to go early, signed, अब पूरी batches ऐसे निकल रही है. This crocin, very advanced, like, I mean, all of us consume it. So now, at least I hope you people understand that design thinking is critical. Right. Next. Why? If I had to put it formally, because it offers you a defined process for innovation. Why innovation and not invention, you may ask? Any thought on that? Hi. Just repeat my question. You'll get 10 points. नहीं ना पता? I know. You are in deep thinking mode. ठीक है? It offers a process for innovation, I said, and why not invention? Whose job is to invent? Are we scientists? Why bother, right? तो innovation ही करते हैं ना? So it gives you defined process for innovation. It has positive outcomes for your career. How do you define career? दो चीजें, एक मैं कितना ऊपर बढ़ रहा हूं और मेरा बैंक बैलेंस कितना ऊपर बढ़ रहा है. If design thinking is helping in both these factors, I want to learn design thinking, right? Next. Second, it has positive outcome for your business also. Oh, I'm sure you must have heard those WhatsApp forward कि Colgate को sale बढ़ाना था. Then somebody said increase the nozzle size. है ना? What is that? This is all design thinking. So you make your people consume more. Or there was this. This is my favorite because Bollywood is, or movies in general are my favorite topics. This has been used. This technique has been used in US. That when there's an intermission, they do not have intermission, but for some movies when they have, they just flash Coca-Cola image once, so that you, when go out, ask for Coca-Cola, right? So business outcome. Next. लेकिन अभी देखते हैं job में with some clear data. So if you look at this last zone, which is green zone, you will see that the demand for people who understand design thinking has gone up drastically. So it's a skill given in your, dear HR, where do we write these skills? What do we call? जहाँ पे लोगों का क्या चाहिए मुझे लिखा रहता है, वो तो हम भेजते हैं. कंपनी क्या भेजती है? Job description. So they tracked how many job descriptions had this word design thinking, and this is the data for you, right? और किस किस प्रोफाइल में चाहिए जॉब रोल्स? जस्ट गो ऑन, देयर विल बी मेनी. ग्राफिक डिजाइनर, सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपर, जनरल ऑपरेशन मैनेजर, मैनेजमेंट एनालिस्ट, पर्सनल सर्विस मैनेजर्स. HR नहीं है अनफॉर्चुनेटली हियर, बट आई एम श्योर इन 1 or 2 years they will also want design thinking. Computer and information system managers, yeah, next. But does it impact anything when it comes to salary? Data is clear. If you do not have design thinking skill set, your salary, this is in US terms, $107K per year, and otherwise it's 133K. If you have to choose, what side you will choose? You are not applying design thinking, but it's okay. The number that looks bigger may not be bigger. Yeah. Next. You read it out. I give you a couple of seconds because there's nothing much to explain here. It's just that this number is pretty impressive. If you're bothering yourself with taking notes, don't do it. I'll share this PPT. It's for you only. Next. Okay. Business में how people come up with solution? यार हमारे यहाँ पे ये प्रॉब्लम है, ये प्रॉब्लम है, ये प्रॉब्लम है. Somebody comes and gives the solution. ये solution है. Nobody questions whether that solution will work, whether that solution is optimal, whether that solution is viable. डाल देते हैं. Whereas design thinking says you first understand the problem. Many times when you understand the problem, the root cause is somewhere else. I had a meeting with a construction PMC person there yesterday. So she said she has deployed 4 people just to remove water from the road. What happens when there's water and there's a construction work going on? What happens? Mud. And what does mud do to vehicles? Vehicle skids. And this is like heavy construction site. तो वहाँ पे जो ट्रक आते हैं, they are like tonners, as in like 5 ton, 10 ton trucks. If they topples, कितने में जाएगा? So she has deployed how many people? 4 people. To do what? To remove water. Nobody in the organization thought why water is coming there. What was the reason? Any guesses? If you have to guess, a pipe leakage. What is cost effective, to fix pipe leakage or to put 4 people continuously to work? People don't do it. Luckily, after I spoke to her, she agreed. अरे यार ये तो हाँ बहुत easy है. Hopefully today they have worked on it. But that's what happens in industry. Move next. Okay. So design innovation happens with 3 things. For any innovation to happen, there have to have 3 things. One is desirability. Imagine you have designed a product or you have come up with a service, right, that nobody likes. Just like Adipurush. Okay. फायदा क्या है उसका, है ना? कुछ फायदा नहीं. Or there is no viability. What is viability? I have defined, I've came up with this pen which writes so smoothly that you will feel like you are writing it on maybe on moon where there's 0 gravity. उतना मस्त feel आएगा तुमको. But it would cost you some $10,000. Will you buy just for that experience? No, because it's not viable. And third is feasibility. What is feasibility? हाँ, but if I have to give you movie example, आधे उधर जाओ, आधे उधर जाओ, बाकी के मेरे पीछे में. Is it feasible? So like that. So you have to have these 3 things together. And design thinking is the only stream that integrates all of them. Because when you are coming up with solution, you always think about your desirability, viability, and feasibility. Okay, next. अभी अपने पास टाइम कम है, अपन अच्छे वाली चीज़ों पे फोकस करेंगे. भगाओ इसको. You can read it, right? I mean, it's not bogus or bakwas. So for every word that I've underlined or every single word has a meaning there. For example, visual thinking, what does that mean? But I'll leave it to you. People are smart. We'll go to some fun part. Next. Yeah, with here. Design thinking, because this is a new stream, okay. People are talking about it since 1960, but it actually got prominence in around 1990s. So there are 4 steps or 5 steps of design thinking depending on which school of thought you belong to. If you are on Harvard side, you would say it's a 4 step, or if you look at from Stanford, you you will say it's a 5-step process. It doesn't matter. Those 4 or 5 steps means the same practically. It allows you to see the invisible and understand the latent. What is latent? Hidden. Right. So design thinking will help you look at the source of the problem which may not be apparent with our naked eyes. It's a method, it's not magic. Right. Just because you have design thinking certificate doesn't mean things will happen on its own. You have to do some hard work. Yeah. So I hope by now you know me that theory doesn't work for me. I need to see practical things. So let's try. एक टी पॉट बनाते हैं. Okay. Yeah. If I have to design a teapot and give it to somebody, किसी पॉटर को देना है बनाने के लिए, and I need to define requirement. क्या क्या होना चाहिए टी पॉट? एक हैंडल होना चाहिए, say 1 liter capacity, एक capacity. लीड होना चाहिए so that whatever I put in remains hot or cold. नोजल एक होना चाहिए, perfect. Double layer, okay. You want to preserve the temperature. क्या लीड या वो होना चाहिए, बेस होना चाहिए so that it can stand on its own. Aesthetically pleasing होना चाहिए, perfect. Heat insulated होना चाहिए, perfect. What if I show you design? Okay, say later hypothetically I gave this requirement and the potter has designed it and gave it back to me and it satisfies all the requirement. Will you buy that pot? Perfect, go. This is all your requirements, right? Oh, you said you will buy. Did you put that into requirement specs? Why? Because we assume things. है ना? The image was very clear when you were talking about your requirement. Potter को कैसे पता चलेगा? Potter को नहीं पता चलेगा ना? Unless you are very meticulously detailing out your requirement. Okay? And this is not a joke. Similar things happen so many times, right? Sometimes they happen for good, sometimes they happen for bad. I was lucky, it has happened to me a couple of times, but it had happened for good reason. I can tell you like first-hand experience. So we had hackathon. How many of you know the concept of hackathon? Perfect. So in software, what you do is, you ask developers to come, you throw a problem statement at them, and you expect them to build a piece of code for you. Okay, and whosoever does it fast and the better, you give that person 10 lakh, 5 lakh, जो भी आपका bounty amount होगा, you give that. So we had decided कि यार ये इतने लोग आएंगे और अपने यहाँ पे फ्लोर पे रहेंगे, तो we should feed them. तो कितने भी लोग जाके खाना खाएंगे, we want to control it. So what we did is, we created coupons, meal coupons, and we distributed it to we wanted to distribute it to the people, software developers. Somehow we forgot to distribute that. Meal coupon, we forgot to distribute. Problem, right? So we were brainstorming, अभी check कैसे करेंगे? Then a junior girl in my team said, Mandar, अगर आपने एक बार खाना खाया है, तो आप वापस खाना खाओगे क्या? No. So we don't have to control. Right? We missed it completely. But because, I mean, how many times people eat like अभी डिनर किया और 5 मिनट के बाद फिर से डिनर किया? नहीं होता ना? So you don't have to distribute coupons. निकाल ही दिया हमने सिस्टम में से उसको forever, right? But it was a mistake because the requirements were not clear or clearly given to the person who was supposed to distribute it. Right. Next. अभी एक एक करना, हाँ. Next. Yeah, 1. All of you have done cat, zat, mat, right? What's the answer? One. What was your process? Can somebody explain me how you arrived at it? आंसर में इंटरेस्ट ही नहीं है, प्रोसेस में इंटरेस्ट है. हाँ 176 plus? Perfect, right? So you are a smart guy, looks like. अभी जो खड़े रहो. There's another question. Give me immediate answer. बताओ फटाफट. Oh my God, you people don't know these tricks, क्या? Let me teach you. Sorry. The answer to this question is 4686864.4. You throw any big number to me, ask me to divide it by 5. The only requirement is all those numbers should be lesser than 5. नहीं तो थोड़ा सा और एक मशक्कत करना पड़ेगा. You have to just double those number और लास्ट से पहले डॉट लगा लो. What is the logic here? When you want to divide by 5, it is as good as you are dividing it by 10 and multiplying by 2. है ना, वही होगा ना अल्टीमेटली. तो हम कोई दूसरा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर रहे हैं ना यहाँ पे एक्चुअली. सो व्हेन आई आस्क्ड यू टू divide this number by 5, what are you trying to do is divide some other number which you can come up with quickly and divide it by 10. So by just changing your approach of thinking, you can get results faster, isn't it? Next. Yeah, please say. It came to me like this, hence I am putting it like this. I have a serious doubt about that $5 wala amount. I'm sure that amount would be much bigger than this, but because it came to me this way, I am keeping it this way. Professor gave $5 and 2 hours to each student. They needed to do something to utilize these resources to enhance their value. Value as in $5 जो मिले थे उसकी value enhance करनी है. And later, they needed to present it to the whole class in 3-minute presentation. Do we have this kind of activities here? कितने हाँ और कितने ना? No? Yes कौन कौन बोला? हमारे टाइम पे होती थी. Unfortunately that theater is closed, otherwise we did it there. Next. Many tried to buy things for $5 and sell them at a higher price. Okay, next. Back. What would you do if this task is thrown to you? I hope if you have read it, the cat is already killed. But I am assuming कि कुछ लोग ध्यान नहीं दे रहे होंगे उनके लिए. बोलो. पढ़ लिया था ना? ठीक है, तो कोई दूसरा बोलो. But now you got the clue ना? तो उसको पकड़ के कुछ आ रहा है दिमाग में तो वो बोलो. हाँ, ये सही देखा तुमने. That is our problem. We don't look at a problem statement properly. टाइम लिमिट है कि नहीं है उधर? क्या करोगे 2 घंटे में? Want to control शेयर मार्केट को ऊपर ही जाएगा. 5 में लेंगे, 10 में बेच देंगे. और नीचे गया तो अपना कौन सा लॉस तो प्रोफेसर ने दिए थे. Amazing people. ठीक है. But yeah, there's one potential way of you wanting to invest somewhere so that at least some movement तो होगा. Right? You are ready to take the risk. That's fine. Yeah. So here's I have clearly made the mistake. I should have corrected it. But abhi, unfortunately, the control is in not my hand. Otherwise, I would have read it and controlled it. Yeah, you will know what the mistake is. One more. They should have been coming earlier. Right? My bad. Next. Okay, but if somebody can summarize it, the last question that's asked on the screen, what do you think what the winning team did? ऐसा थेरोटिकल मत देना कि उन्होंने वो टिकट का होटल रिजर्वेशन का किया, बट कॉन्सेप्ट वाइज व्हाट दे डिड. Where it was more demand? At a higher price. Okay. Right. आप लोगों के पास वो दूसरा व्हाट्सएप फॉरवर्ड वगैरह आया था क्या? 3 लोग अंडे बेचने जाते हैं, किसी ने देखा था? प्लीज इफ यू कैन एक्सप्लेन इट. जैन. अरे थोड़ा फन से बोलते यार. द पर्सन गोज एंड ही वांट्स टू सेल मोर एग्स, व्हाट ही डज इज ही लोअर्स द प्राइस. तो उसके ज़्यादा बिकने लगते हैं, तो कॉर्नर वाले दोनों तो बोलते हैं यार इसके क्यों ज़्यादा बिक रहे हैं. दे लुक एट द प्राइस, अरे ये तो सस्ते में बेच रहे हैं, बिकॉज दे आर इन कॉम्पिटिशन, दे लोअर देयर प्राइस. तो ये और लो करता है, इतना लो करता है, उसके बाद ये 3-4 टाइम्स कर देता है एंड उन्हीं से खरीद लेता है, बिकॉज नाउ दे आर सेलिंग एट सो फ्रिकिंग चीपर प्राइस. उनसे ही खरीद के he sells at a premium. Who in the business world use this strategy? All of Reliance is built on this strategy. I'm not sure whether you people would be very small kids. वो कर लो दुनिया मुट्ठी में, उनका एक कैंपेन था, 500 रुपए में मोबाइल बेचते थे वो. I didn't have mobile, but the auto wala had it. Right? They created that monopoly, right? And they are milking that monopoly. Sorry. So we'll just look at HBS ka model. So they have 4 stages. One is clarify, second is ideate, third is develop, fourth is implement. So even if you do not know any strategy like this, I really appreciate these people. They come up with such a fancy names. Otherwise तो ये बड़ा common sense है. If I am coming to your home for dinner, what you will do? पहले करोगी सर कितना खाएंगे, है ना? 2 चपाती वाली बॉडी है, 10 चपाती वाली बॉडी है. Whether veg or non, you clarify, right? You want to clarify. Then you ideate. कि अभी मिल गया जवाब तुमको कि ये खाएगा 20, ये है वेज, क्या क्या बन सकता है. टमाटर तो आ नहीं सकते, है ना? तो व्हाट आर यू डूइंग? आइडिएट. फाइनली यू डेवलप. और फिर वो ऐसे क्या करते हो, ये टेस्ट, एंड फाइनली जब आएगा तब सर्व कर दो. इट्स दैट सिंपल, राइट? बट HBS ने लिखा है, तो आप कोर्स करोगे तो उसके 20-20 लाख भरने पड़ेंगे. या 4 फेज गिवन. कॉन्क्रीट से एब्स्ट्रैक्ट थिंकिंग में जाते हैं, अगेन ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. नेक्स्ट, एब्स्ट्रैक्ट थिंकिंग इंक्रीजेस द लाइकलीहुड दैट एन आइडिया विल बी नोवेल. theory again, move. Anchor abstract ideas in concrete thinking to ensure the solution is valid and useful. जो हमने पहले देखा था डिजाइन थिंकिंग में, फिजिबल है वगैरह वगैरह. इट्स ऑल. नेक्स्ट, क्लैरिफाई. इसको थोड़ा देख लेते हैं बिकॉज यहाँ पे थोड़ा डिटेल में अच्छे से दिया है. दैट आई लाइक. नैरो डाउन द फोकस. व्हाई यू वांट टू क्लैरिफाई? व्हाई यू वांट टू क्लैरिफाई? That they are missing on one critical aspect of the event. I gave them clue. They didn't understand. Then I gave a scenario to them. सोचो मैं अभी दिल्ली में हूँ, 15 साल के बाद मैं अकेला आऊँगा क्या? किसके साथ आऊँगा? Hopefully I'll have family and भगवान की दया से जच्चे बच्चे भी होंगे. तो will I come on 2-wheeler? कार से आऊँगा. कितने अलुमनाइज बुला रहे हैं हम? कितने हो तुम? 400. इतने तो हमारे टाइम पे नहीं थे. 100 पकड़ते ऑन एन एवरेज इन वन बैच. 15 years. हाउ मेनी अलुमनाइज यू आर कॉलिंग? हाउ मेनी कार्स अप्रॉक्स पार्क कहाँ करोगे? दिल्ली, सॉरी दिल्ली नहीं, मुंबई, BMC, बृहन मुंबई कॉर्पोरेशन. डू यू नो व्हाट इज द चार्ज ऑफ रोड साइड पार्किंग पर मंथ? 30,000. बिल्डिंगें बना दी, पार्किंग ही नहीं है, रोड पे करो 30,000 पर मंथ. यहीं पे भी वही हाल है. वे आर यू गोइंग टू स्टैंड 1,000 कार्स ऑन दैट पर्टिकुलर डे? पूरा प्लान कर लिया, बस वही नहीं किया. लकीली दे रिवाइज देयर प्लान, बट सोचो नहीं तो क्या होता है ना. चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं क्लैरिटी पे. यूज वेरियस टूल्स एंड फ्रेमवर्क्स टू रिकॉर्ड ऑब्जर्वेशंस. व्हाई इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट? व्हाई यू शुड बी यूजिंग टूल्स? रिकॉर्ड में क्या मिस्टेक करोगे? रिकॉर्ड तो रिकॉर्ड है, ऑब्जर्व करना है. Any thoughts? Because if he is recording or she is recording, the record should be same. Unless you are using any tool, your counting may go haywire. कितने लोग कॉलेज में आए हैं ये मुझे गिनना है. अगर मैं बंदा बिठाऊंगा, he or she might miss somebody. What if I use face detection algorithm? Right? It's better. So that way, yeah. And frameworks is like, इसका example क्या दूँ? Framework are important because say I want to design a car for Indians. Okay. अब कार की हाइट कितनी होनी चाहिए? For that I need the average height of people. 5 feet is average Indian height. 5'6". So we might debate, okay? But unless you go and record randomly, you will not know. अब उसमें एक 4 फीट का आ गया और एक 7.5 फीट का आ गया. क्या करना है उसको? रिकॉर्ड में रखना है कि थ्रो करना है? रखना है? I don't know. That's a question for you to decide. But frameworks will give you those answers. What do you do with outliers? What do you do with anomalies? Right? So frameworks will tell you that, and hence you should be using tools and frameworks. Next. Observe without assumptions or biased expectations. Okay. This is a common story that I hear from many parents. 5वीं तक ना मंदार, मेरा बच्चा इतना ब्रिलियंट था. Always used to come first or second in the class. 6वीं में क्या हुआ पता नहीं. Have you heard of these stories? ऐसा पॉसिबल है क्या कि दुनिया के सब माँ बाप के बच्चे 5वीं तक फर्स्ट और सेकंड ही आ रहे हैं? नॉट पॉसिबल, राइट? तो क्या गलत हो रहा है वहां पे? Expectation, biased. If I know my kid has come fourth, to friends I will not tell he has come fourth. मेरे दिमाग में फर्स्ट और सेकंड में है ही कितना डिफरेंस, मैं कहाँ इतना झूठ बोल रहा हूँ? थोड़ा सा ही तो बोल रहा हूँ, right? A problem starts there. Okay. Next. Shape insights by framing observations. You'll have plethora of data, but if you are not deriving insights out of it, it is useless. Right? So whatever data you have collected, try and figure out what are the insights out of that. Next. Reframe the problem in the form of a statement or question. Okay? My brother's story. He is an avid cricketer. 10वीं तक उसने 65 से पहला वाला नंबर कभी देखा नहीं था. उसका क्लास में नंबर कौन सा है? 67th, 70th, 80th. ओके, एंड वी वर वेरी टेंस्ड. 12वीं में साइंस दिलाया था, क्या होगा? ओके, ऐसे ही, यही एक्सपेक्टेशन था हमको. ठीक, बड़ा बेटा गवर्नमेंट इंजीनियरिंग, छोटा बेटा क्या करेगा पता नहीं. We had cable those days. We didn't have OTT like you people. We had cables. ठीक है. And आप में से कितने लोग क्रिकेट खेले मुझे पता नहीं. विनू मंकड़ वगैरह जो टूर्नामेंट्स होते हैं, they happen in the month of February. And boards exam generally happen in the month of मार्च. ओके, तो ये हमारे भाई साहब विनु मंकड़ खेल रहे हैं उसके ऊपर. टू टॉप हिज ब्रिलियंस ही वॉज प्लेइंग विनु मंकड़. My father never ever talked to us about studies. He never forced us. In fact, if today is an exam day, okay, exam is at 9, so we have to get out of our homes at 8, let us say theoretically, hypothetically, not theoretically, hypothetically. So we have to get up at 7 क्योंकि पढ़ेंगे, रिविजन करेंगे, नहा धोना है, सब कुछ करना है, right? If my father is your father and you get up at 7, वो बोलेंगे अरे इतना जल्दी क्या करना, सो जा, थोड़ा 5 मिनट और सो जा. That kind of personality got tensed. He offered a solution to my younger brother कि भाई अभी 1 महीना है तो या तो तू पढ़ ले नहीं तो हम केबल काट देते हैं. तो बोला कुछ भी करो, केबल मत काटो, आपको कितने परसेंटेज चाहिए उतने बताओ. हाँ 85, 86 लाके दिखा, तो नंबर हुआ करता था उसका उतना. He got 87 through and through, 94 PCM, got into government engineering and he is a university topper. क्या हुआ? What were we trying to fix here? We were trying to fix here his study problem. What he wanted? Cable. जब बात उसके केबल पे आई, real story, I can produce certificate, degrees, right? So you might find interesting the problem statement is something else. Okay, next. Ideate. Problem statement is solidified in this, not finalized. Right? Because it may change as you progress. You may realize कि जैसे अभी ये problem, I told you PMC problem, water logging and mud. Statement was something else. Goal is to overcome cognitive fixedness and devise new and innovative. ये again थोड़ा theory, इसको निकाल दे क्या? I want to go to examples fast because I have a hard stop at 5. I have different commitment after that. भगाओ अभी तुम, जब तक ये सफेद दिख रहा है, काला सफेद, भगाओ. I am going to share this. Please go through it once, right? So much जाना. और इसको भी भगाओ. अगर टाइम हुआ तो हम बाद में आएंगे इस पे. We talked about not wasting resources, right? We talked. Design thinking क्यों कर रहे हैं? To curb wastage. How many of you have ordered Domino's pizza? All of you, right? How many chili flakes and oregano packets you get? Generally, अगर फ्रेंचाइजी बकवास नहीं है, in their document they have mentioned that you should give couple of extra packets when you deliver. Why? क्यों? अरे फाड़ के तो कचरे में डालते हो ना. क्यों देखोगे? क्यों रखते हैं? क्यों रखते हैं? अच्छा. It's been how many times? नहीं madam, let them. How many days you have been in Pune? 2 months. How many times you have eaten vada pav? 10 times. ठीक है? Multiple times. Let us agree on multiple times. वड़ा पाव के साथ क्या मिलता है? मिर्ची प्रिजर्व करके रखिए घर में. तो ये क्यों रखते हो? क्यों रखते हो? Because in our head, right, And there's a fact, in our head, we don't eat Domino's pizza every day. So we want to have memory of that. Right? I've heard this from many of my friends and their mothers. ये हम सब्जी में डालते हैं. Right? आज उनके घर में जाओ, फ्रिज खोलो, you will see say 10 packets. You go after 7 days, you open fridge, you will still find 10 packets. So they are not consuming it. But every time they open the door, oh, we had it. We could afford it. Right? ये जो psychological satisfaction चाहिए ना, उसके लिए लोग रखते हैं, and that creates craving for you. Okay? I don't know whether I've told this in last session or not, but if you want to learn marketing, it is very simple. You just have to know 3 things. One is psychology of the people, how they behave when they are alone, how they behave when they are in group. They behave differently. Okay? मतलब अभी पूछ लो ना, तुमको किसी को जज करना है तो तुम the word that you will use, and if I ask you come here, explain about that boy, you will say नहीं ये पढ़ाकू है, थोड़ा अच्छा है वगैरह वगैरह. But the way you describe the person in hostel is completely different. Right? What is acting here? Psychology. Then comes sociology. Right? How people behave in society. Group का बात नहीं, in general, society. And then anthropology. How we have evolved as human species. If you know these 3 things, you can design any marketing campaign and it will work for sure. Next. विंडशील्ड वाइपर. इसका इन्वेंशन कैसे हुआ पता है? ऐसा 2-3 बार करो, फास्ट जाना है अपने को ना अभी. There's this lady, Mary Anderson, in 1902, she was going somewhere and it was a rainy day. उसने बोला यार ये क्या हाथ से करने का है? Can there be some motorized device which will clean the windshield for me? And she came up with this wiper. The story goes, जो यहाँ पे नहीं होगा शायद, she went on to selling this to so many automobile companies, nobody bought it. आज कौन सी गाड़ी है दुनिया में जिसमें वाइपर लगा के नहीं आता? None, right? 1902, she faced a lot of trouble to sell it. Next. How many of you have Hotmail emails? ये हमारे ज़माने में था. So you used to get 2 MB worth inbox, okay, for free. I cannot tell you क्या था वो, मतलब ओहो मेरे पास हॉटमेल का ईमेल है 2 MB. Okay? And it became like a rage in the market. You know why? If I send you an email or if I send you an email from Hotmail, PS I love you, get your free email at Hotmail. ये लिख के आता था. अरे वो आई लव यू पे फोकस मत करो, उसके नीचे वाली लाइन इंपॉर्टेंट है. That you can have Hotmail email for free, and people were paying huge sum to get one. फटाफट सबने बाय कर लिया, फटाफट. नेक्स्ट. 1 million यूजर रिकॉर्ड्स इन जस्ट 6 months. अभी तो हम 100 million in 1 day कर रहे हैं. And Hotmail got sold for 400 million. ये लाइक देखा है कम से कम तुम लोगों ने? इनवाइट. सो जब Gmail आया था, ओके, इट वाज लाइक OnePlus mobiles. You cannot have just like that. You have to find a person who already has it, and then he will send you a request. Only when you get a request, you can opt for a free email. ठीक है? तो ये उनका स्ट्रेटेजी था. और ये ऐसा you can customize. Because you are only true friend that I have, I am extending one of my 5 requests to you. ऐसा कर करके हम भेजते थे, बड़ा मजा आता था. तब चैट जीपीटी नहीं था ना, हाथ से लिखना पड़ता था. Go. Do you know this company? Does logo sound? Amazon. Okay. इधर one जाओ. Jeff Bezos wanted to name company as Cadabra. Why Cadabra? abracadabra, magic. So what happened is, उसका CA जब आया ऑफिस में, he said I want to create a company Cadabra. He said what, which company? So अरे नहीं, आपको तुमको ही नहीं समझा यार मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, तो मैं लोगों को कैसे समझाऊंगा. And during those days, internet was flooded with web directories. How many of you have seen any web directory? At least phone directory तो देखा होगा, है ना. कहाँ से चालू होती है phone directory? ओके, और तुमने कंपनी का नाम Z रख दिया तो आखिरी के पन्ने पे जाएगा. सो सी क्या ब्रिलियंट बंदा है ये. He said, okay, give me any name, suggest me any name which starts with A. Because if it is starting with A, there's a good chance that it will appear at the top in those directories. And that's what happened. Right. Search results were in alphabetical order. Yahoo had a section showing top 10 cool things on the internet today. And Amazon featured a lot many times there. Right. Next. So they have understood the problem and they came up with a solution. Oh, how many of you know this case study? नहीं पता? अरे उरी तो अभी का यार, तुम लोगों के टाइम पे गया. How many of you download it on torrent? When you download torrent, how many have seen? तो क्या हम आपके torrent में नहीं घुस सकते? They did this campaign. They themselves released their movie on torrent, but a different version. It was a short movie. So पहले के कुछ मिनट are like same like a movie, and then they come and they say, अगर हम पाकिस्तान में घुस सकते हैं तो क्या हम आपके टोरेंट में नहीं घुस सकते? If you want to watch a movie, go to theater. Okay. Amazing campaign. Because they know, and यहाँ पे मैंने पूरा देख के रखा है. If you do not find it anywhere, just go to those links, you will find it. Again एक बार. Next. दिल से. नाम तो सुना ही होगा. Raj was more popular in outside world. Okay, so when Din Se released, they took it to overseas market and it became the first movie to feature in UK's top 10 box office charts. They realized Shah Rukh Khan is already a popular character there, right, actor there. उन्होंने ज़्यादा सिनेमा थिएटर्स में अप्रोच किया, मूवी बेची, लाइक टॉप 10. नेक्स्ट. और उसके बाद तो हम जो झंडे गाड़ रहे होते रहे. निर्मा. यू नो दिस केस स्टडी? भगाओ. नहीं? Okay. There was this African chemist by the name Graham Wolf. He created original pink beauty fluid. I'm assuming this side may not know anything about cosmetics. This side knows something about cosmetics. उस जमाने में, this is like old story. आपको लगता है फाउंडेशन, right? The foundation उस जमाने के जो थे, this is your skin, the foundation goes on top of your skin. तो वो हाइड्रेट नहीं रखता अपनी आपकी स्किन को. So you need something which will keep your skin wet, so it has to get inside the skin, and this fluid was that fluid. It is inspired by his wife and other women who want deep hydration without the thick heavy creams of the day in 1952. So he invented a cream, didn't know what to do. उसको पता चला ये स्किन को हाइड्रेट रखता है, सो वी कैन यूज दिस एज अ फाउंडेशन, एंड ही स्टार्टेड सेलिंग इट. ये लोगों को तो पता ही होगा ना, दिस इज अ वेल नोन ब्रांड, राइट? दिस इज देयर स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट. नेक्स्ट. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू नो लिटिल बिट अबाउट सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट? Little bit? Okay, Jira is a company we started as a ticketing solution. What is a ticketing solution? Whatever problems you face, you call company, you tell them I am facing this problem. So company will record your problem with some ticket. उस ticket में लिखा होगा who called, what is the problem has been faced, what is the category of the problem, what is the severity of the problem, right? बट देन केम, लगता ही नहीं है, वो देखती ही नहीं है कितनों को लगता है. Okay. At least in that time, most of the women were watching TV serials in the afternoon time. Right? वो जो सब मर के वापिस जिंदा किया जाने वाला कार्यक्रम था कैरेक्टर्स का, वो सब दोपहर में हो रहा था. Right? क्योंकि women were watching it. तो ये भाई साहब ने क्या किया, दद्दू ने, he bought TV commercials during those slots. उसके बाद से जो सेल्स अब गए हैं इनके, right? Yeah, next. Let us not get into this. We have only a couple of minutes. So if you have any doubts, उसके लिए रखते हैं. Next. This is my favorite. I am Shah Rukh fan. Okay. And look at the brilliance of this person. Okay. How many flop films he has given? लगातार पूरी लाइन दी है यार उसने फ्लॉप्स की. अरे उसके बाद आया पठान. हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू से कि वो फ्लॉप्स के बाद डायरेक्ट पठान आया? इज इट ट्रू? उस फ्लॉप और पठान के बीच में शाहरुख इतनी बार आया. Shahrukh wanted to see whether he is relevant to the market, but he cannot come as a hero, because he comes as a hero, then movie will be called as Shahrukh's movie, right? None of this movie is called as Shahrukh movie. But if you take any review of this movie, you will not find that review complete without mentioning SRK. He was doing soft launch. This is my favorite. Doordarshan was the only channel that we had access to in my young age. Then came Sony. Sony said we are 24-hour channel. 24-hour channel बनने के लिए क्या लगता है? 24 hour का content लगता है. Did Sony have it? No. So Sony did a very smart move. Sony came to the AV side, as in video side of the world later, TV side of the world later. Before that, Sony was present where? Music. तो रात के 12 बजे से सुबह के 6 बजे तक they used to play music with a Sony logo. That's it. And that's how they became 24-hour channel. Right? Very good design thinking approach. Next. How many of you are cricket fans? तो ये पता है आपको सनत जयसूर्या कौन है? नेक्स्ट. गो. और एक वेट. 1992 में भाई साहब इसने ऐसा धोया है ना अपने को, मतलब कमाल. फर्स्ट 15 overs there was restriction. The 15 over restriction that we see got introduced in 1992. Sri Lanka utilized it to the best of their abilities. वो पहले 15 ओवर में उनके बनते थे 115, 150. And what was the cricket total score that during those days? आपने 270 बना लिए, आप तो जीत गए मैच. It was like that. और ये 150 तो वो 15 पहले ओवर में मार लेते थे. Only because of सनत जयसूर्या. So he changed the game forever. He did his design thinking. Probably ये करके रुक जाते हैं. या पूरा दिखा दो. या wait. How many of you have seen this kind of high jump? Okay. This was not the way you jump high before 1968. उससे पहले लोग ऐसी रस्सी ऐसे आते थे और ऐसे जंप करते थे पेट के बल. This fellow started jumping on the backflip side. He is a civil engineer. Okay, he understands what is center of gravity, how is weight displacement happens in bodies. So he said, if I can jump this way, okay, then I can go little higher because my center of gravity is still below. So he started practicing like that. So this was a common way, the black and white way. And he invented this way, Dick Fosbury. When there was the opening of Olympic during this year, Mexico Olympic, he was sleeping in a car. People were calling him fool. ऐसा जंप मारेगा तो तू क्वालिफाई भी नहीं करेगा. वो भी मजे ले रहा था कि हाँ ठीक है क्वालिफाई नहीं करना है तो मैं सो जाता हूँ. So he was sleeping in a car. But when his time came, he jumped this and he won the Olympic in that year. Next year he didn't participate. Next year as in next 4 साल के बाद होता है. So next Olympic he didn't participate because he said, now I have shown you a better way of jumping. I am sure many of you have started practicing that. There is no way I can win it now. So he didn't participate. But this has become Fosbury jump. So this jump is called as Fosbury jump because of this guy. Because he understood the problem statement. क्या यार अपने ऊपर ही जाने का है ना ज़्यादा लंबा ऐसे ही जाना ज़रूरी है क्या हम ऐसे जाएंगे. Yes. So with this we'll stop here. अभी thank you पे जाओ direct. If you have any questions, we can. Thank you. So many times I've told you, यार this. ठीक है, but are there any questions? और ये तालियां इसलिए थी कि नहीं, there's no question. You go and let us go. हाँ, no questions? एक भी नहीं है? Good. Profit कितना? 4 मिनट का? Design thinking. Amazing. Now some formalities, right?
Thank you so much, sir, for your intellectual session. I'm sure the students have gained abundant of knowledge by this session. We extend our sincerest gratitude to you, sir, and we look forward for your next visit to our campus again.